Hello everyone, welcome back to Savvy Looks, where I like to take outdated or damaged secondhand furniture and give it a whole new life. This week I'm working on this set of nightstands that I got at a Habitat for Humanity restore. They were not in the best condition. Structurally they were fine, but there was definitely lots of scratches and damage all over the nightstands. The drawers were having some problems opening and closing, and they were covered in this really gross, super thick red-black glossy stain. I was super excited to work on them though, because they have this really interesting shape, and I thought there could be some cool wood grain underneath this finish. First I removed the hardware and then gave them a quick clean with a degreaser before rinsing them back with water. I knew it would be difficult to get through such a thick finish, so I used a chemical stripper to speed up the process. I covered it up with saran wrap so that the stripper wouldn't dry out while it was activating. After about 15 minutes, I started scraping back all of the old finish. After that, I cleaned off the surface to remove any of the residual stripper and continued working my way all around the box part of the nightstand, removing the finish. This included scraping with my carbide scraper and sanding with my 3x4 electric ray surf prep sander. Because of some veneer damage and just how thin this veneer was, I did go through the veneer in a couple places around the edges, but I wasn't too worried because I knew I would be able to cover that up later on and make it blend in with the wood grain. For some of the more damaged spots, I removed broken or lifting veneer and used Dixie Belle's Dixie Mud wood filler to make repairs. The entire top was covered in really tiny little dents and scratches, so I applied wood filler to almost the entire tops. After that, I began scuff sanding all of the areas I was planning on painting to prepare them for the paint. So my main challenge throughout this entire project was the bleed through. For some reason, because of this old finish, anytime that the bare wood got wet, it began to basically turn red, as you can see here. This meant that I couldn't really apply a water-based product. I tried clearing out the wood grain using a metal wire brush and sanding it as far as I could before running out of veneer, but this was just something to keep in mind throughout the project. To stop the bleed through on any painted areas, I applied a shellac-based primer. This is Zinsser Bins primer. This primer not only acts as a first coat of paint because I was planning on painting it a light color, but it seals in any of those wood tannins so that they can't seep up through the painted surface. I made sure to sand back any of the roller texture in between coats. Here you can see all the areas where the bleed through was still affecting the primer, so I went ahead and sprayed them down with straight shellac. This is the ingredient in the primer that blocks all the stains, so applying it directly onto those areas that were still turning red further helps prevent any staining. Next, I gave everything a second coat of primer. I was finally ready to start painting using the color Papery White by Melange in their one line. This is a beautiful, just slightly creamy off-white color. This was my first time using this color, and I definitely think I will use it again because it's sort of just the perfect neutral without being stark white. I used their one formula, which means applying a bonding primer and top coat is optional. This paint went on so easily and smoothed out with its awesome self-leveling properties. I applied primarily using a zebra brush and a Country Chic oval paintbrush. I love both of these brands for their paintbrushes because they just apply so smoothly. Now to address the wood. I had a certain design plan that included whitewashing with a water-based product. The design did not end up working out, so I sort of ditched it altogether. But initially I knew that if I applied a water-based product over this wood, it would immediately turn red, like I showed you earlier. So I decided to apply liquid shellac first, which is the same product that was in the spray can, because I knew it would block any staining. I thought I would be able to apply a stain over top the shellac, but it did not end up working out that way because the stain just couldn't absorb into the already finished wood. So the orangey brown color that the shellac made the wood ended up being my final wood color. That was not my initial plan, but it really does lend itself to the mid-century style of the wood grain. Can we also just take a moment to appreciate this wood grain? Who knew it was under that dark red finish? I certainly did not, but I was so excited to see it. So in case you were wondering, this is how my whitewashing idea ended up looking. Definitely not what I wanted. Not that it was bad, but it just was not implementing this wood grain to its full extent. So I went ahead and sanded the side that I had tested this look on back to bare wood and re-shellacked it. After letting everything fully dry, I was ready to top coat using Dixie Belle's Gator Hide top coat. This is one of my favorite top coats because it's really protective and has a beautiful subtle satin sheen. I applied 3 coats of it over the paint and wood using my Zebra fan brush. Whoops! To hide any of the damaged veneer, I used Mohawk's Blend All sticks. So here you can see what it looked like before, and then I applied layers of different colors of brown and blended them in to make it look like the original wood grain. I made sure to do another coat of top coat over the wood so that the sheens of the wax and the wood would match. Next, I applied Howard's Feed and Wax using my Dixie Belle La Petite wax brush around the entire drawers, including the insides and sides, and also on the drawer rails to help everything slide really smooth. I made some repairs to the drawer rails, and I also used my 5x5 Ryobi orbital sander and a really coarse grit piece of sandpaper to grind down the bottom edges of the drawer sides so that it could actually slide in and out of the nightstand. Taking the nightstands and the drawers inside for a while also really helped because I found that the drawers had swollen from the humidity and heat. I soaked the original hardware in distilled white vinegar for a couple days before scrubbing it all down to reveal its original brass color. I reattached the hardware. Now let's take one more look at where these nightstands started. And here they are now, all finished. What did you think about this makeover, and what would you have done? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or video suggestions, let me know and come follow me on Instagram at savvy.looks. I'll see you next video.